It's Michelle from Cozy Egg, and today is Thursday. I'm looking at my calendar. Today is Thursday, June 20th, 2024, and this is episode 139. So it has been a little over a month once again, but we're here. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I'm going to show you a new start and what I'm going to be working on for a while. I'm going to talk a little bit about the books that I have been reading, and I have a big announcement as well, which I'll get to in the book section. So if you're not interested in books, don't feel like you have to stay. But okay, so as far as, what's been going on here, it's Texas, it's summer, it's hot, it's, yeah. But it is the summer solstice, it is Litha, and Ramses is doing really well on his insulin. We're still working on getting his dosage adjusted, but he's doing so much better than he was doing. And, Tut is his normal Tut-like self. So work has been super, super crazy busy, mostly because I'm doing 3 jobs, but it's just been crazy busy. But I'm still working, so, yay. And yeah, that's kind of what's been going on. So let's talk about what I've been working on, shall we? Where to start? Let's start with this. Pardon the noise. Okay, so since I saw you last, I pulled out I think I was working on this when I talked to you last, and then I worked on it a little bit more. So I worked on my Rebecca Nurse by The Primitive Hare, and I was able to get the whole house finished, which I'm very excited about. I love how that looks. And so I'm stitching this with the called for DMC on 40 count vintage country mocha. So really liking how that's turning out. I believe that that is the called for. And let me show you if I can get it out of here, because these charts are not exactly normal size. This is the chart. So it's the Rebecca Nurse homestead. Rebecca Nurse was one of the victims of the Salem witch trials, and several of us started this back in February. So I've got the house all done. I'm gonna work on the trees next. And then I have this swath of snow down here to do. But as you can see, it's not a very big piece. I think it'll fit like in a 5x7 frame when it's all stitched. So worked on that, and I was very happy that I got the house done, because that house took a little bit of time. So let's see if I can put this over here. Oh, and I need to mention my nail polish. So Kelly from the Evergreen Needle sent me this polish and another polish that is from Ethereal Lacquer, And these are both inspired by Crescent City. And so the other one is called Athalar. This one is called I've Got You. And I love it. It's very iridescent and shimmery. So fun. All right, so I worked on that, and then I talked about last time that I was gonna do kind of one thread length a day on my oldest whip. And here is a picture of what that piece looks like. And it is called Dorothy's Garden, and it's by A Stitcher's Hands, who I don't believe is designing any longer. She's actually a local to me. So there's the piece. I'm stitching it on what I believe is 32 count over 1, which is why it's my oldest whip. So here is where I am. Let me show you the whole thing. When you do it over 1, it's not very big. But so I have been working on the house, and I've managed to get, you know, kind of all of this center section here done in the roof, all of this here, you know, the columns, the outline of the door, this column, and I've started on this column over here. So one length of thread on over 1 on 32 count goes a long way. So I managed to get quite a bit done on that, which I'm pleased by. I have not lately been putting in a length of thread on this, and I'll explain why here in a moment. And I'm stitching this with DMC, and I have no idea what that fabric is. If I had to guess, I would say it is some sort of Zweigart, or maybe like a, you know, platinum, or it could be Lakeside, who knows? It's from 20 years ago, so who knows? I'm also working on His Eyes on the Sparrow on Sundays with my friend Olivia, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts. And I don't get a whole lot of progress on this each time, but every little bit counts. So I think you saw like this star and this owl and the angel and the bee scap and this sort of stuff last time. So since then, I've stitched this big flower pot and the bird on top, and this little bird and the body of this peacock. The peacock still needs his tail feathers, but it's coming along slowly but surely. I'm trying to sort of fill in to the point where the big tree is in the bottom with Adam and Eve. So I'm trying to kind of do all the motifs next to the tree, and then I'll do like the whole tree in Adam and Eve. But I want to kind of get all these motifs around it done. So, and I think I have a little bit more to go here, and then maybe one up top, because I think the tree kind of comes like this. But yeah. So I'm stitching this on 48 count Gonder linen that's been hand dyed, and I'm stitching with the called for over dyed threads. I just love how it looks. It's really super saturated. So, and so this is kind of washed out. This is probably more the color of my fabric, like it's darker. Which every time I take a photo of it, it's kind of, you can't really tell. But, all right, so that is Sparrow. And Olivia has been working on kind of the top left corner of hers, and it looks really good. And the other piece that I am working on as part of a stitch along is my Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and I'm working on that on Friday nights. And I try very hard to, so I manage the Let's All Move to Hawk Run Hollow Facebook group. And I try very hard on Friday nights to post in there and post a photo of my progress and, you know, ask if anybody else is, you know, in the hollow tonight and share your progress. Sometimes I forget. But I get on Zoom with some friends on Friday nights, and you know, we're trying to work on shores, and some are working on houses, and so that has been fun. I've been working on block 3, and I have this totally done, except there's grass here that needs to be filled in, and then all of the water. So everything is done except for the grass and the water fill in. But I love how it's looking. And I'm stitching this with the called for NPIs on 36 count Vintage Autumn Gold by Lakeside. So all the called for everything. So yeah, very pleased with how that is coming along. And then the thing that I spent most of my time working on up until recently is my thread, I think, that is stuck. Okay. Is my greenhouse of oddities, which I'm completely in love with. So I have I completed planting 2 and 3. I don't know if I've done both of those since I saw you last. 3, I've definitely done since I saw you last. I may have also done 2. I don't remember. But here we are. So this is the whole piece. And it's just been shoved in a bag, so excuse. And I normally have this on my Q-snap, and so I don't have the edges done here because I was only working on what I could see in my Q-snap. So when I get to these side pieces, I'll finish the greenhouse itself and the ground, but which is why I have all these threads hanging. So let me show you what I did. Okay, so what is this? Extra. So planting 1 was the desert dwellers, which are the cactus and this tree and the owl, the little elf owl. And so then planting 2 was a trio of oddities, which was this plant, and this bat flower, which is like a super dark purple that I wish showed up better because it's really pretty. You can kind of see that it's purple. Not in focus, but you can kind of see that it's purple. So that was planting 2. And then the third planting is our botanist here, and the blue morphos. And I posted on Instagram that the whole time I was stitching her, she reminded me of Vanessa Ives from that scene in Penny Dreadful where she goes to the botanical garden with Dorian. So this is now Vanessa Ives, in case you were wondering. So I really, really love this so much. So much. And so I had to force myself to put this down because I don't want to put it down. I just want to keep going. But I'm absolutely loving this. And, you know, it's Lola Crow designs. And this is the first piece of hers that I have stitched. And I'm not usually a big fan of back stitching, but the way that she uses back stitching, there's not a lot of it. And she uses it very precisely. And when you put in that, you know, one little line of you know, stitches, it makes all the difference. And her pieces have so much depth to them, like every little motif, you know, every plant, everything has so much depth to it that it just, you know, like you're just stitching along and then all of a sudden it's like, bam. Wow, that thing looks amazing. You know, I mean, just like this, the inside of this flower, I mean, it's just amazing to me. So anyway, I love this. This is the 4th planting. So this is the one I'm going to be working on next. And you can see kind of what the whole frame looks like. But it is basically, you know, this center piece and the plants that are in it that are all carnivores. So like a Venus flytrap and whatever else we have here. So I'm really excited to get to that, but it's going to be a little while. So, and Lola Crow, I think I talked about this last time, has her new stitch along out right now, which is the Deadly Aquarium, and it looks so cool. But I've told myself I'm going to finish this one before I even think about another one. So, yeah. Okay, so let me look at my list and make sure that that is everything. And that is all of my whips that I have worked on. So now I'm going to show you my new start. And I've got the chart stuck on here, so let me move that just so you can see everything. So I mentioned last time that I am in the process of reproducing another antique sampler. And so I have started stitching the model for it. And I'm not going to show you the whole thing. I'm not going to talk a ton about it because you will get all of that lengthy, detailed information when I release it. But I'm really excited about this sampler. It feels to me very late summer, early fall. And so I'm really hoping that I can release it before the summer is over. which means that I have to stitch like the wind. So, but so basically all of that to say everything else is on hold and I just have to work on this. But I am stitching it. I charted it in DMC and I am stitching it in NPI. I have my DMCs and my NPIs in the bags together, but I'm just going to kind of show you the colors so that you can kind of get a feel for. So it's got these rusts and golds and this orange and this kind of light peach color and some browns, some greens, one blue, a burgundy, really, really beautiful colors, I think. And so I will give you a little sneak peek of the beginnings of the model. And I am stitching this on 40 count Bee's Knees by Seraphim because I wanted a fabric that, you know, that felt kind of summery and honey colored, you know, warm. So this is the fabric that I chose and I'm really loving how the colors are looking on this. So this is the top center of the design. And I just love it. It's got this beautiful honeysuckle border. And these fun little parrots that are looking back over their shoulders. So this is going to be my life for the next couple of months. We'll see how quickly I can get that stitched, but that is what I'm working on. So that is it for my I must be talking fast because I'm only like 20 minutes in here and I'm done with that. I was telling somebody the other day that I always have to talk a little bit at the beginning, like I sort of need like a warm-up monologue, but I recorded another video before this, so I guess I like got that out of my system. So whatever. Okay, so that was stitching. As far as plans go, you just saw it. I'm going to work on that model. So everything else is a little bit off the table at the moment, even as much as I really want to go back to my greenhouse, but that will be my reward when I'm done. So let's talk books. And if you're not interested, that's totally okay. So what have I been reading? Last time we talked, I was in the midst of reading the Zodiac Academy books that I'm reading with some friends of mine. And I think that I was on book 5 at the time, if I'm not mistaken. And I think between that one so I read that one and 5 more of the Zodiac books. So the book that I am currently on is a novella that is kind of a series of short stories. And then I'll get to the final book in the series, which I think is book 9. So, but there have been a couple of novellas in here, you know, along the way, which is why, yeah. Anyway, so that is primarily what I've been reading is the Zodiac Academy books, and they're fun. They're fantasy, romance, quite spicy, And the way that each of them end, I like just have to keep going. I can't stop. So, but that's primarily what I've been reading. I read one other book that was not part of the Zodiac books, and it was really only because my hold on it came up at the library, and so I took advantage of it. So that book was, come on, Gothicana. And the cover for it is absolutely gorgeous, and I apologize for all the reflection. And it's by Runix, and it is a Gothic, of course, Gothic, dark academia, romance book, and it is fantastic. I loved it. It's very atmospheric. You know, girl goes to this, you know, school in the mountains, and it's in a creepy castle, and, you know, things happen, and it's quite good. They do call it a dark romance. So with that being said, you know, just check your trigger warnings, or whatever, content warnings, I suppose we're calling them these days. So, but it was quite good. I very much enjoyed it. And if you like, you know, Gothic, creepy, sort of dark academia books, this is a good one. Well worth it. Okay, so that is what I've been reading. That's it. And now for the big announcement. So I am also putting up a separate short video that you will see on my channel that will explain everything kind of more in depth, but I am officially launching my own book club. So I'm very excited about it. I have been working very hard to get a new website launched where I'm going to kind of house all of the book club related stuff. And I'm just, I'm so excited about being able to talk about, you know, books with other people, and specifically, you know, kind of the kinds of books that I read. So at the beginning of the year, you know, I took sort of a little informal poll and asked, you know, if people would be interested in it, and a bunch of people said yes. So here we are. I am now starting a book club. So my plan is to do book discussions every 2 months. They will be virtual. They will be on Zoom or Google Meet or some, you know, something like that. And they will be in the evening, and they're free. I explain all of this on my video, but basically you just have to, you know, become a member so that I, you know, can kind of vet you and know who you are. And then you can RSVP to the events once you're a member. But the membership is free, the events are free. I just needed a way to kind of protect people so that we don't get any, you know, hooligans. Oh, so the first book, let me just tell you. So the first book that we're going to discuss is Leigh Bardugo's The Familiar, which I'm super, super excited to read. I cannot wait to read this. So, and look at those sprayed edges and these end papers. So Leigh Bardugo wrote Hellbent in the Ninth House, which I talked about previously. And absolutely loved both of those, so I have no doubt that The Familiar is going to be excellent as well. It is a historical fantasy, so if you're into that, I would love to have you. I'm excited about the book club, and the website is mistressofthehouseofbooks.com. I will put a link to it down below. And I will be posting about it on Instagram and all places. And like I said, I'm uploading a separate video that is just talking about that, if you're interested. So, with all the details and stuff. But on the website, if you just want to go and peruse, I am putting up a bookshelf of not only books that will be part of the book club discussions, but also books that I recommend. For example, Gothicana is on there. And so if you want to kind of look for other books that you may not have heard of or read or whatever, I'm still in the process of putting books up, so check back. But I tried to get as many up there as I had time to. I've not put any of the Sarah J. Maas books up yet because that's a lot, but there's a bunch of books up there. You can kind of, look at authors and series and genres and, whatever. So yeah, very excited about it. I hope you're excited about it. I hope that you will join me, because I think it'll be a lot of fun. So, and I figured every 2 months, we'd give people time to read the book. So, and the first one is going to be end of July. So, book club, very excited. Okay, I think that's it. This is gonna be the shortest video ever. 32 minutes. Plus I have vlog stuff that I have no idea what I have recorded and what's gonna be up there, but you've already seen it at this point, so you know. But I think that's it. So I'm going to go and sit and work on my model and maybe watch some House of the Dragon and maybe a little interview with the vampire. We'll see. So, all right, that's it. So, and if you are, if you stayed this long, thank you. And if you return consistently, thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you. And thank you. All right, I'm off. Happy stitching, happy reading, and join the book club. Bye.